And in fact, Dynamo have been involved with all of the universities and with a lot of companies around the Northeast in our digital construction cluster. It's actually bringing together the whole of the built environment that is increasingly using digital as a tool to collaborate on projects. I say increasingly using it, the construction industry is perhaps notoriously a little slow at taking up new technologies. So we're really proud of the fact that we've been able to convene groups together in the Northeast that actually is a centre of excellence, certainly for BIM at Northumbria, and work on that hive mind so that they can come together and find out how they can be more efficient and more profitable within this particular industry. As I say, the Innovation Day is going ahead later this year. We've got a programme of events that will focus on collaboration and partnership, knowledge transfer and investment and finance within the sector. And there will be more of that coming out on social media throughout the rest of the year when we have those dates announced. So without further ado, I will hand over to the people that are at the sharp edge of this, and you can hear more about the Innovation Day.
Brilliant, thanks Dawn. Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Sam Tennant. I am Business Development Manager from Northumbria University. Andrew, I don't know if you can just move on to the next slide. Perfect, thank you. So following 2 years of success, Dynamo, Waterstons and Northumbria University are returning to host the third Digital Construction Innovation Day. So as with previous years, I don't know, some of you may have attended the previous 2 sessions, but as with previous years, individuals will sign up to form part of a team that will focus on one specific challenge. And we do have 3 challenges which have been put forward for the Innovation Day, which I'll go through in more detail a little bit later on in the session. So we're inviting participants from all sectors, disciplines, organisations and backgrounds. You don't just have to work in construction or the digital sector to join forces, pool ideas and really come together to develop creative solutions to industry-wide construction problems, which will lead to benefits for us all. The added bonus to this year is Waterstones will be adding an extra element to the winning challenge. So we do run them as a little bit of a competition throughout the day. And the Innovation Day in itself is a great opportunity to meet new people, develop your own skills and expand your own personal networks as well through collaboration with SMEs, universities and other organisations. The day itself will be split into small workshops, whereby once a challenge has been identified and selected, you will come together as the team to work on solutions and develop a solutions-based approach to the challenge themselves. Following the workshops and towards the end of the day, everyone will come back together to present those ideas in front of a panel, and this will be scored by the panel, and a winner will be announced based on the solutions put forward to the challenges. So yeah, that's the structure of the day itself, and as I said, I'll go into the challenges in a bit more detail a little bit later on. I'll pass over to Andrew now, who can tell you a little bit about the Hack Day.
Samantha. Yeah, so I guess one of the bits we got when we were involved with the Hack Days, sorry, the Innovation Days previously, was this feeling that it was really good to all come together on one day, but wouldn't it be good just to give a little bit more of a push and a bit more of a longer term look at something and see if we could follow up on any of the good ideas that came out of it. So we came up with the idea of doing a hack day. Now we love a hack day. We do them quite frequently with our clients. You need a good idea, a challenge, some people in a room, and you need to kind of work something up. And sometimes that's building something, and sometimes it's just actually taking the idea and developing it a bit further. So I guess people who are familiar with these things before, you need some good ingredients for a good hack day. You need kind of a real world challenge to tackle, which I guess the Innovation Day has 3 really good ones, and I guess we'll end up with hopefully a winner out of that day that we can then take forward into this hack day that we're suggesting. You need people with good ideas and insights, and you also need people who are kind of new to the problem, who maybe come at it from a completely different angle, fresh skills, fresh perspective. And I guess that's what we're sort of calling out for in this session today. if all of this stuff is new, that's also great. Please do sign up to a challenge, and you might have something you can offer. We love, as I say, we love a good hack day, and some screenshots there from some other things we've done in the past, daft things. The Internet of Dings, which was a glockenspiel powered Internet of Things device that you could tweet at it, and there's all sorts of tech stuff you can do on a hack day. But I guess the other thing just to mention is there's two routes. So the day that we're suggesting can take one of two flavors, and it'll be up to the winning challenge to make a decision what they want to do there. We can do a more traditional technology hack day, bringing new, current, emerging technology and sort of meeting that new idea or that new challenge in the middle and developing something. I guess the other concept which we've had some success with in the past is the concept of a one great day. Now that takes less of a technology route, and it pulls in different business interests, different experiences, skills from other areas, perhaps manufacturing or other industries. And you can really develop up with a sort of a cross-functional team in a day, maybe a business model, maybe test a new idea, do lots of different things. And really the ingredients to that are more interesting and good people, and I guess different tools and techniques, creative workshopping, innovation, that kind of thing, to come up with something else out of the day. So it'll be up to the winning team as to which route they want to take, but that's kind of the offer on the table in terms of what we'd like to do to support this going a little bit further. And I guess hopefully at the end of this, there'll be something really exciting we can talk about at Dynamo next year, or hopefully before then. So back over to Samantha.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Andrew. So all I would say is if you're passionate about solving problems, keen to embrace new ways of thinking, and want to help drive innovation through collaboration, then we've got three very different challenges on offer as part of the Innovation Day. Andrew, if you can just move to the next slide, please. Brilliant, thanks. So the first challenge is AI-based identification of hazards on construction sites. And this challenge is owned by Northumbria University in partnership with Heriot-Watt University as well. And I think it's well known that the construction industry in most countries has perhaps not the best safety records among all of our industries. That said, there has been a marked improvement in the industry safety record in the past, and that's not least because of the UK's construction design and management regulations, which were released in 2015, which places duties on designers of construction projects to consider the health and safety implications of their designs. So really trying to make that accountability more explicit within construction sites. This challenge follows on from an IOSH-funded project which aimed to improve how designers involved in construction projects learn about how their designs influence the management of occupational health and safety at the construction stage. And this challenge really aims to apply novel techniques from computer vision, natural language processing, and machine learning to identify hazardous situations on sites from images taken at the site across regular intervals. These images will then be tagged and annotated from a health and safety perspective, and then they would be analysed and then categorised from from the categories would form different perspectives. So we would look at it from a human worker's perspective, plant and machinery and materials perspective as well. So the overall aim of the challenge is to utilise the experience and knowledge of colleagues within the health and safety sector, design and construction and software sectors to brainstorm ideas and help to annotate a pilot set of images from the construction sites. I think one of the real benefits to this project is that it can be much wider than the Innovation Day in itself. So this is one of the projects that are looking to go for further funding opportunities, whether that be from Innovate UK or research councils, to really try and make this project into something that's tangible and can be developed further away from the Innovation Day in itself. If we can just move to the next one. Brilliant, thank you. So challenge number 2 is retrofit for the future. And this is led by Home Group in partnership with Northumbria University as well. So the UK has 4 million households in social housing accommodation, and a target that this should meet net zero by 2050, which presents an enormous challenge to our social landlords who face complex and difficult strategic planning and investment decisions in order to meet this requirement. So some of the issues that are being considered at the moment is which housing stock should be invested in first, which material improvements should be adopted, how can the benefits for social housing customers be assured and assessed, how should customers be engaged throughout the process so that they understand exactly what's going on and why the changes are happening, and how should return on investment and value be assessed also. I think perhaps the main challenge that social landlords are looking at is it best to do retrofit incrementally, so make smaller changes across a number of years, or is it better to do what's called a deep retrofit and kind of just do everything at once based on the technology that's available at the moment? The risk obviously with that being that as new technologies develop, they could be cheaper and actually give larger returns on investment for the money that's put into them. So in this digitally enabled industry, the challenge itself aims to look at how we can use data that's already available to support decision makers to make informed choices, monitor actual against anticipated outcomes, learn from and share information to drive positive change in the sector. So this innovation challenge will consider three key areas. So problem definition, looking at the scope and nature of the problem, identifying the different stakeholders that will be involved in this. So as previously mentioned, the customer of the social housing, defining the variables, so looking at the different materials and technologies that are available now, but also trying to sort of look at perhaps the materials and technology that will be available in the future. Number two, so looking at solution exploration, so looking at different options, developments and assessments, and then identification of a preferred approach, before finally moving on to a paper prototyping of the preferred option. Andrew, brilliant, thank you. So the third and final challenge, this is led by Northumbria University in partnership with XBIM. And again, this is looking at digital in relation to digital passports. So government efforts such as the Building Back Better, Building Beautiful Commission and Hackett report recommended the use of digital building passports or logbooks for tracking building data throughout the building life cycle. So this was a challenge that kind of came from Dynamo Innovation Day, which was held last year in 2020. And participants identified not only the need for having access to historical data about buildings, but also to have a mechanism for requesting that data that allowed them to make clear, relevant and data specifications for data creators. So research has shown failings in both the delivery and use of building information. Information may be handed over in the wrong format, incomplete or inaccurate, and the building owner and subsequent users of the data don't have the necessary tools or knowledge to effectively use the data that they do have. So building on the ideas that came out of the last Innovation Day, this challenge aims to explore designing workflows and possible interfaces for enabling building owners and managers to provide clear data specifications and requirements to data creators that will enable the data to serve as a digital passport for buildings. That's the three challenges there.
Sam, I'm sorry, I was just trying to mute myself there. So I guess there's a brief summary, everybody, on the three different challenges that have sort of made the cut in terms of what we're actually going to tackle on Innovation Day. What we now need is a lot of passionate people to help these challenge leads and the small teams that exist around these challenges already to really put some effort behind it in an intensive day. And as I say, follow up with that additional day as well, to hopefully progress some of these things a little bit further. So what we'd really like everyone to do is obviously visit that link, sign up, put in some of the skills and interests and challenges that you'd like to work on. It's all sort of part of that survey response. The plan for the day itself is not to try and do it virtually. We've intentionally put this thing back such that we can actually host it in a physical presence of each other in a room. We think it's best waiting for that to happen in terms of the restrictions being hopefully imminently lifting, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months. So we'll get them plans underway for later on this year, hopefully. But in the meantime, we're just trying to get that cohort of people signed up so we've got everybody ready to jump on a day and a place once we can do so with the COVID restrictions. So I think that's it, Samantha. Dawn, have I missed anything, or is that us?
No, I think that's everything. Just to add there, I know I went into detail around the first challenge really being looking to take this onto a larger project following the day itself. I think it's fair to say for all three of the challenges, based on the content and the themes that run through them. So this won't just stop with the innovation day and the hack day following that. We are looking to really try and progress the solutions to these problems that we find, so that we can get a tangible project, perhaps funded by different funding sources, to really see solutions develop to the challenges themselves.
And I'd like to just underline, anybody that's heard this message today and is interested, please spread the word to people who aren't in the construction sector as well, because we want real diversity of ideas, because the built environment involves everybody. These challenges are really interesting, and if people think, oh well, I can't do that, I don't have the knowledge, if it makes you feel any better, I might be joining a challenge and I have no knowledge. So I think it sounds really exciting and interesting, and the more people we can get, the better.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dawn. And actually some of that almost not lack of knowledge, but that new fresh perspective can add so much to a lot of this, because some industries have already solved problems similar to this and come in and go, well, that's how we just do it over here. Surely that could transfer, and no one's ever made that connection. So yeah, absolutely. Please do pass this around your networks. We'd really appreciate that too. Thanks, everybody.